All right. Guess I'm live. I think I'm live. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? All right, let's check it out. We'll kind of let a few more folks get in here before I start, but just right off at the beginning here, I want to say for anybody out there, you can check out my website, schaeferfineart.com. I got some drawings on there from past live streams and some watercolors as well. So definitely check that out on my website. You can also support me on there in different ways. You know, there's PayPal, all that stuff if you're into that. I also have Patreon, which is a way to give to me monthly if you're into that as well. So definitely check that out on my website, schaeferfineart.com. But anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way right there at the beginning for people showing up. So check it out. So portrait gestures is what I'm going to be doing. So check out, here's the reference photos. These are from my recent plein air adventure 113. It's hard to believe I've done 113 plein air adventures in 2 years. So I kind of got some different lighting scenarios here. Kind of the same face, unfortunately, but not too bad. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to start drawing one out here, and I decided I'm going to do these in monochrome. So since these are kind of the first portraits I've ever really done in watercolor, I think I'm going to do them in just one color each. So I think I'm going to do like transparent red oxide, like a brown one, and then maybe an ivory black, just keep it simple. In the future, I can play around with a little more colors. Maybe the next portrait live stream, I'll do like the Zorn palette, which is like ivory black. So the Zorn palette is like ivory black, cadmium red, or like a vermilion, just a bright red, and yellow ochre. So that may be something I can play around with in the future for portraits. But for right now, I'm just going to do transparent red oxide and ivory black, probably. So see if I can pull this off. Let's see, does this fit on there all the way? Pretty much, I think. Okay. So there, and yeah, okay. Cool, so let's try to see if I can draw this, sketch this very quickly, because it's just a gesture. So now that we got a lot of people, we got 31 folks here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I want to explain to everybody what I kind of define as a portrait gesture. Because in the past on my channel, I've done portrait gestures in oil paint. And I kind of did like 45-minute, I gave myself a time limit. I did 45-minute portrait gestures, right? And they're some of my most disliked videos, and I'm not really sure why people dislike them so much. Because I thought they were pretty good studies, actually, of portraits. So I'm taking a note here. It looks like the ears are kind of center of the head from top to bottom, at least with my beard in there. But I kind of want to define a portrait gesture. For me, these probably aren't going to look like me. I'm not going for likeness here. Like, yeah, some of it might look like me, but in the end, it might not look like me. The point of this is, like, I want it to look like a human, like a portrait. It's just portrait practice, that's all. That's why it's called a gesture. You know, when you do like figure gestures, it's just to look like a figure. It's just to capture the essence of a figure, the movement of the figure or whatever. And I'm just doing that with the face. I'm not trying to get a likeness. I'm not trying to make it look just like me. So before anybody gets their expectations super high and they start disliking this and goes, oh, this doesn't look like you at all. Well, yeah, it's not supposed to. I'm not trying to do that. That stuff takes many hours if you're trying to get, you know, a certain likeness. Looks like my ears need to be bigger. It's always the problem. Got big ears. And the proportions might not even be right with this either. Like I'm going quick here. Like I said, I'm shooting to make it look like a human and try to just practice with values, of a face and kind of some of the structure. Yeah, I'm not going for complete likeness or anything here. So I hope everybody understands that. So I'm doing the portrait that's in light, the one that's in light. So I'm just trying to define like some of the light versus shadow here. So that's really the important thing I'm kind of paying attention to. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Brent, thanks for tuning in. Lisa, Amanda, Elf Chosen. What's happening? What's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Thrundra Wolf, what's happening? What's going on? Anyway. All right. So I'm going to try to keep these loose as well, obviously. But I'm well aware that this could be an absolute failure. So I've never really done portraits like this, and then definitely doing it on a live stream. It's kind of nerve-wracking, you know, but it's all right, man. We'll just do our... That's the thing, man. It's just, you got to just do your best. Can't worry about whether it's going to be perfect or not. So I'm trying to take note of like some of the darkest areas, like my eyebrows, my eye sockets, you know, the pupils. Want to maintain this little light area, this little triangle. So it looks pretty decent so far. But like I said, this, I'm only going to be worrying about value. I'm using one color, so that really simplifies the process. And that's really how I recommend, if you're just starting out with painting, anything, landscapes, whatever. I mean, I've even thought about doing some monochrome landscapes. Yeah, definitely do stuff with just one color, because that's really the most important part, is just figuring out, because then you can kind of figure out the pigment and like you can figure out the technical aspects of your, what am I trying to say? The medium that you're using. You know, you don't have to worry about color and all these other things. You just focus on value. You focus on how the medium works, how it feels. So I'm going to do that with the portraits here as well, just trying to figure out. Oh, and we got Brent here watching, man. He's a portrait artist. He does a lot of portraits, so you're going to have to give me some pointers here, Brent, for sure. If you're still here. Let's see, what did he even say? May the spirit of Rembrandt be with you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Someone asked me, how do you read, talk, observe, and draw at the same time? You're a multitasker. I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. A few years ago, I was not able to do that. I did some live streams, like 2 or 3 watercolor live streams a few years ago, like 2 years ago. And I had my girlfriend at the time reading me questions from the chat. And I was painting and trying to answer them, and I couldn't even do that. And I don't know, I think it's just a lot of practice. I've been you know, this is my 60th live stream, so, or 61st live stream, so I've had a lot of practice doing this. I probably wasn't as good when I started out, that's for sure. So there we go. It's kind of a gesture drawing there pretty quickly. So that's kind of what the watercolor is going to look like, hopefully. So I think I'm just going to start out with this number 16 round brush. All right, let's see. What do I do here? What do I do? Well, glad you had insomnia there, sorry, I can't say your name. SM. I've watched your videos a long time ago, and I found your channel again about a week ago, and it's awesome you're still doing YouTube. Love your work. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, man, I'm going to be doing art forever, so as long as there's somewhere for me to post videos online about it, then that's probably what I'll do. So I'm just mixing up. So this is the color I'm going to be using. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. You know, just this kind of rusty brown. Should be pretty cool. I think maybe the next portrait I'll just use ivory black, but for now we'll use this brown. Just try to play around with some different values and stuff. Actually, I could move my palette right here. That's a bit closer. Okay. So let me try to figure out how to start this. No measure and grab the portrait spirit. This is phenomenal. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, it's just, like I said, I'm not too worried about proportions and stuff. I'm focusing on values and just trying to capture the essence of a portrait, not exact likeness. So, you know, it looks like me so far. Maybe I'm a little fat. That always happens. I always draw myself a little bit fatter, but also the beard adds a little bit of weight to me. But hopefully when I paint it, it'll still look like that. So I'm just trying to mix up color here. I'm trying to think of how to go about this. I think I will glaze the whole thing, or do a wash rather. Why is my nose so itchy? Sorry, folks. Okay, let's just do like a wash. Yeah, let's just start out. Let's just start out with a wash, I guess. Let's keep it fun. Keep it fun. So I want to leave some white spots if I can on the light area. Like on my cheek, there's like a white spot there. Also on my forehead. I don't want them to be too distracting, though, but I don't know. Like I said, this is all, I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe that value in the light is too dark, but I think it's going to dry lighter. It always dries lighter, so we'll just roll with that for now. So trying to leave some highlights there. Wonder if I can try to make some of the... I want to soften some of these edges, especially around the hair. Kind of messed up this part already, but that's okay. We'll just create some kind of background or something. I don't know. I'm winging this, man. Winging all of it. Alright, well, I guess I'm doing somewhat of a background. I couldn't get the color all the way off, so... not a big deal. I just want some soft edges here. Have you ever imagined yourself working in an animation studio? Yeah, when I was like really young, like between like the ages of 5 and 8. That's kind of what I wanted to do when I was young. I wanted wanted to be an animator, like a Disney animator type thing. Oh my gosh. I got like too much dust in my house or something. Sergio. Okay, thanks. Good to know. Sergio. If it's any help. Have you got any specific art supplies which you reserve for the more elaborate pieces? Personally, it's the Graphwood pencils and Fabriano Artistico 300-pound paper. Not really. I use 140-pound Arches cold press, and something I like using from time to time for landscapes and stuff. I use this wax resist that I rub on the. It probably would have been good to use this time actually for the highlights. Like I use wax resist, and then it kind of preserves the white of the paper, but also gives a little bit of texture around the edges of it. Thanks, Brent. Hope it goes well, man. Take it easy. I don't know how I'm gonna do it without your help, man, but I'm gonna try. We'll see. All right, folks. Give me 1 second. I just need to like get some water or something. Whew. For some reason my nose is just really itchy. But all right, we're good now. I feel better. Sorry about that. Oh man. Keeping it real here, folks. Is this your full-time paid job? I wish it was. I don't have enough viewers to make a full-time living from this kind of stuff yet. But no, definitely not full-time. My full-time job is I'm a graphic designer, but I'm more than just a graphic designer. I do everything for the company I work for. I do videography, photography, design signs, exterior signage for buildings, and I order them, and I do flyers, I do websites. I recently, like a month or two ago, I did a one-page website that had many sections. It could have been a multiple-page website. I did that thing in one day, the whole website, many different photos, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I just do a lot of stuff like that. Logos, business cards, flyers, everything. Yeah, the wax resist, Sergio, the wax resist is kind of like masking fluid, but it's more of, I might as well put just my webcam answering you guys' questions. So the wax resist, it's kind of like masking fluid, but it doesn't, here, actually, let me, I have an example I can show you real quick. From, I think, yeah, here we go, this is a past plein air video I did, but I used wax resist right here on the snow. So you can see, because the paper I used a little bit textured, so it leaves some kind of texture, but this is all where the wax resist was, and then I just washed over the whole thing with this tan color, and it left these areas white. So it works perfectly for like landscapes, like stuff like that, for snow. Yeah, I did it in this one as well for a past live stream. So another kind of snow landscape. Works really well for that kind of stuff. If you need a little bit of texture, but you still need white of the paper. What you can also do, one way you can also use it, I'll show you. I have another plein air sketch I did in Hawaii. From Hawaii. I'll show you real quick. Here we go. So check this out. From Hawaii, I did one. This is the first time I ever used it, I believe. It was pretty cool. You can barely tell I used it, but so. This way I didn't preserve the white of the paper. What I did was I put down a wash of light green, and then I let it dry, and then I used wax resist over it. Let me zoom it in a little bit. I used wax resist over some of that light green, and then I put the shadows on, and it gave me this little bit of texture, and it preserves some of that light green. So there's tons of different applications you can do with it. This is obviously very, very small. You know, you can do this for like larger paintings if you're doing like bushes or something. You know, I saw it a lot in John Singer Sargent's work. Like he did a whole wash of like bushes and stuff, let it dry, and then just scribbled some kind of like pattern, you know, leaves and stuff, and then did a darker wash for the shadows. And then it left that light kind of shining through in a textured way. It's really cool. It's really cool to try. Really cool to use. So in that way, it's very helpful. Okay, looks like we have some questions about the wax resist. I do have a Patreon, Thrundra Wolf, Thrunda Wolf. I do have a Patreon. So here, I'll show you one last time. If you go to my website, it's actually, if you look at any of my recent videos, like the plein air adventure 113, if you look in the comment section, I post like a bunch of links, and it's the first link there. But it's also on my website. If you go to my support page on my website, you can see a link to my Patreon there, and my website is schaeferfineart.com. So definitely check that out. I don't really offer any perks yet on the Patreon, because I just, given my day job and stuff, I just don't have time to be consistent with it, and I don't want to like not deliver on you know, things that I promise every month or every week or whatever. So I kind of just have it open to, you know, if people want to give however much they want to give every month. If you just want to give me $1 every month or whatever for a few months, like that's fine. It's going to go to more plein air adventures and more videos like this. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. Yeah, so definitely check that out. Hello everyone that's joining. Cubs Win asks, do you rub it off? No, you can't rub it off. So what it is, it's like a crayon. It's just a crayon, that's all it is. It's just a wax crayon with no color. You can't rub it off. It's like if you're coloring the crayons, you can't rub off a crayon. So it's the exact same thing. It's just when you use water over it, the wax that you lay down covers up the paper and doesn't let the water get on the paper. So that's all it does. And I think if you use a lot of water, it'll make it, you know, disintegrate or whatever. So yeah, for anybody asking for the wax resist, yeah, you leave it on the paper. Like it's not very thick. It's just like a crayon, and you do a wash over it, and then boom, it stops the water and the color from going onto the paper in that particular area. Do you sell your paintings in any art galleries? No, I do not currently. I sell my paintings online at my website, schaeferfineart.com. Check it out. Watercolors on there for sale, and also some drawings. So that's where I sell my artwork right now. I do not sell on any websites or any galleries. As for the current piece you're working on, I feel you didn't do justice to your cheekbones. Great facial structure nonetheless. Thanks. Appreciate it. What's going on, Philip? Glad you can make it. I'm just in the beginning stages right now, just answering some questions here, trying to get through, letting this first layer dry a bit. I have no idea about the instructor on Udemy. I have no idea who that is. Have you ever tried doing lifelike art? Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I've shown those in my past. I've done some drawings that are pretty lifelike. I've shown those in my past live streams and stuff. It's not really my thing. Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy. Got like cat hair floating around. I don't know what's going on. Just pollen or something. I'll check that out. Be happy to support you once I have money. Yep, no worries. No rush. No worries. It's not going anywhere. So, wow, you're graduating high school soon. Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Or woman. Not sure which one you are, but it doesn't matter either way. Fellow human. Thanks. I appreciate that. Hope everything goes well with your schooling and stuff. If you're going to college or whatever next. Yeah, hope everything goes well. So this is pretty much dry. Oh man, you're right. I forgot to leave this little bit of, actually that'll be light. So I got to make sure I leave that triangular area when I do the shadows. So I got to be careful there. Yep, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I've never heard of that artist, so I'm not really sure. You know, I don't really look at like courses and stuff too much, and I don't really follow that many other artists. I kind of just do my own thing, you know. All right, so now, now I'm gonna figure out what to do next. So maybe some of the darks in the lighter area, but also I should probably do the whole shadow area as well, I think. So what I mean by that is like some of my beard is actually dark, even though it's in the light. And some of my hair is dark, even though it's in the light. So I could do all that. And so let's do that here. Gosh, man. I need to turn the air on or something. It's so hot in my apartment. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me turn the air conditioner on. Yeah, it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit in my apartment, so I gotta turn the air on. I'm just starting to sweat in here. I'm trying not to turn it on during the day. Try to save a little bit of money, but it's getting really hot here during the day. My cat is sleeping in my bedroom in the other room. You really want to draw animals with Prismacolors? How do you recommend I start? Well, you get some Prismacolor. This is what I would do. I would get some Prismacolor. I'd get some photographs of animals that I want to draw, and I would start drawing them. I mean, really just don't overthink it. Like, just start. Just do it. Just start doing it. You know, it's like me painting this portrait. Like, how should I start painting portraits in watercolor? Well, I don't know. I guess I should just start painting them. Like, I don't know. If you want to do Prismacolor, you know, look up some tutorials online, see what's out there. You know, just don't stop overthinking. So many people overthink everything. Of course, it's not going to be like perfect. Like, you're not going to get like good art when you first start out. Like this portrait, it's not going to be good. I have no idea if this portrait I'm painting is going to be good, but I'm still trying it. I'm still doing it. I'm still just like doing my best. You know, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just making this up, dude. I don't know. I just decided today, well, I think I'm going to paint some monochrome portrait gestures. I don't know. See if I can do it. I have no idea if I can. Right? I mean, does everybody agree on that? Like, just don't overthink. Just start doing it. You gotta learn from your mistakes. Once you do some art it comes out not that great, try to figure out why. Look up some tutorials, a few videos. Try to figure out, like, is there anything you can do better next time? Like, is there any way you can fix it? If not, like, how can you do better next time? I'm ignoring that highlight on my hair for now, because I think it's distracting on my hair. So I'm not even concerned about that. For anybody that might notice that. So I'm trying to just treat this eye socket as like just a big area for now. My kitty's name is Kitty. You got it right. I don't know how you knew that, but yeah, her name's Kitty. For real. It's just what I've always called her since about 2005. When she was born. Or when she was very little. I didn't have her when she was born. So I'm just going to try to soften some edges here now, very nicely if I can. Got the top lip in there. Okay. Fix my crazy hair up here. Maybe I can soften some of that. Especially back here in the shadows. My ear's a little wild back here. It's a little big. Definitely want to soften my beard here. Have a contrast against my neck. So, hey Marcel Harding Art, thanks for the two NZ dollars. Greatly appreciated. Thanks, man. Hope everything's going well with you. Hope the art's going well. Yeah, so this is looking pretty cool so far, I think. Like I said, this isn't perfect. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get a likeness here or anything. It's just a gesture, man. I'm just exploring. Like, how can I create a portrait, you know? Gotta soften some of this stuff. So I'm trying to capture a lot of that softness if I can. Especially around the hair, the beard, the lips. All this stuff could be softened. And when I'm softening like that, it's kind of just adding some extra values slightly. Sorry, I missed a lot of questions here, guys. I'm trying to scroll back up. Nathan says, hey, Brendan, how's it going? It's going really well. I have a suggestion for your future live stream and video, just an idea. Have you been to the Badlands of South Dakota? Yes, I have. Been there once. You should try painting that landscape. Yeah. I definitely want to go back there. I'd love to do some plein air there, actually. That's what's cool about the whole Patreon thing. Like, if I can get enough support, I'd love to do some plein air trips and just travel around the US right now. Since I can't go anywhere else that I want to go. Like, I'd love to be able to travel, even just around California where I live. Like, I've been planning for years, like, to do a whole bunch of, cool plein air kind of videos and trips and things. And, yeah, I just can't get there. All right, well, that's pretty soft, I guess. Okay, let's see. What kind of watercolors do you use? I use M-Gram. The brand is M-Gram watercolors. Brent says, yeah, that's been my lesson so far with all this. You don't have to ask how to do it because I will immediately tell you how not to do it as soon as you start. Yes, art is on the job learning. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, to begin with, you got to learn a little bit. So watch some videos, watch some tutorials, figure out some of the techniques. You got to learn a little bit, soak up a lot of things, figure out like how to do washes, how to color in a certain way, or how to do this or how to do that. Once you have a little bit of a knowledge base, then you got to put the time in, you got to put the work in. Start applying all that knowledge you used. You know, it's really most people, it's not about learning like how to paint or how to draw or how to do this. It's really like it's learning how to learn and how to apply what you learned. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Because once you learn like painting or drawing, or like once you learn one thing like that, you can learn anything. Because it's just a matter of how to learn. Like, how do people learn how to play piano? Most people know that. Most people don't even know how to play piano, but they know how people learn it. You go to practice every week, every day, and you sit there and play these drills that your instructor tells you to play, or you learn how to play these certain songs. You got to do the same thing with painting. You got to show up and start painting or drawing everything. Start drawing stuff. Like, there's no difference. There's no difference really between learning, like, you know, anything. If you want to get muscles and become stronger, you go to the gym, you start lifting weights. You just start lifting them. You know, over time you learn different exercises that work out different muscles, and then maybe you start doing different routines and stuff, but you got to just start lifting. You got to just start lifting. Just start doing it. But is there a specific body part you are dreading to work on when it comes to a portrait? Not really. The whole thing kind of sucks, to be honest. The whole thing's kind of difficult. I think the eyes are pretty difficult, especially I'm working very small, so I'm not really going to get a lot of detail in the eyes. The lips are pretty difficult too, usually, because you have to keep it very soft around the lips, around the eyes. Normally with a portrait, you want to keep everything as soft as you can, for the most part. You know, it's one way to go about it. Maybe on this next portrait, I'll focus on just leaving all the edges hard and see what that looks like. Oh man, gotta plug in my computer real quick before it dies. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I definitely want to come to Washington for sure. I mean, I want to see Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens. I want to go into some of the forests up there. Yeah, I've been there when I was a kid a lot. Every summer I went there for a few years in a row. So a lot of amazing stuff up there. There's waterfalls, all kinds of cool stuff. So I definitely want to come to Washington. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoy. Hope you're enjoying this video. I'm just trying to let this dry a bit, and I'm trying to keep up with all you guys' comments here. Am I using burnt sienna? No, I'm using transparent red oxide. So it's a little more of a transparent color. But it's very similar to burnt sienna, I guess, what it looks like. But it's just it's a transparent type of color that I really love using, I think more than burnt sienna. I haven't used burnt sienna for years. I've just been using transparent red oxide. Learning how to use the materials. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not sure what you're referencing, but yeah, learning how to use the materials. I'm kind of figuring out portraits a little bit here, so that's why I'm using only one color, doing monochrome, just focusing on value. M-Gram are beautiful paints, but it was a learning curve for me because they tend to reactivate when glazing. Really? I haven't had that problem that I've noticed. I haven't really had that problem. It could have been a particular pigment, maybe. I'm not sure. I've never had a problem of them reactivating when glazing, I don't think. I haven't glazed a whole lot. I just did the other day, though, at the end of the video, and I don't think I had that problem. I've done it a few other times. Yeah, a lot of people use Daniel Smith, but I don't know, man, too expensive for me. I can't justify using those. Yet, anyway. The whole thing kind of sucks on a t-shirt. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is hard because, like, it's not when I'm painting, especially with watercolor, when you have to do everything at a certain time limit, it's not like you're just painting the eyes or painting the nose or something. Like, you got to balance the whole thing, you know. It sucks, man. You got to blend it out, make sure everything's soft and, like, working together, and it's tough. How big is this paper? I have no idea, actually. It's actually a scrap of paper I had laying around. So let's measure it real quick. It looks like 6 inches tall by 6. This is a 6 by 6, basically. And I have another square next to it, which is, just about 6 by 6. So there you go. 6 by 6 inches. If you're international, then it's 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters. No, I did not grow up in Cali. I grew up in Biloxi, Mississippi, or D'Iberville, Mississippi. It's right down on the coast. I was born there, raised there until I was 15, and then I lost my house in Hurricane Katrina, so then I moved out of there, moved to live with my mom, who lived in Delaware at the time. So I lived in Delaware for like almost 10 years, and then I moved out here to California, and I've been here for about 7 years now, almost, I think. Hey, thanks, Diego. Glad to see you here, man. Yeah, I'm working on it, man. Hopefully it's gonna come out well. I'm not really sure what to do after this stage. It's almost dry here, folks. I'm gonna hit it with another layer in just a second, but trying to catch up with everybody's comments here. I got a lot of very active today. Have I ever been to the Bahamas? No, I have not. I would love to, though. Would different papers affect how well the paint lifts or not? Yeah, definitely. I think so. Can you mix brand paints? Yes, I have before in the past. I used to use cheaper brands along with the M-Gram that I was using. So yeah, you can. Okay, sounds good, Nathan. I'll definitely check it out. Definitely check it out for sure. Yeah, maybe eventually I might use Daniel Smith paints, but right now I really love the M-Gram, so I haven't had any problems with them. I'm gonna see if I can lift this with just water. I mean, it seems very difficult for me to. I mean, I'm sure I'm moving some kind of pigment around a little bit there because I used a lot of water, but it seems very difficult to. I mean, I think it depends on the pigment, probably. If you're using like a lot of paint, some pigments are staining and some pigments aren't. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. Glazing the same in watercolor as in acrylic, acrylics in essence. Yeah, I think so. You know, just using a very light, mostly more water than pigment, a little bit of pigment. What brought me to Cali? My girlfriend in the past, and also a job. And I had to get out of Delaware because it was just, there's nothing there. I mean, Delaware, the whole state of Delaware has less than 1 million people. And there's more than 1 million people in Sacramento County where I live. So like, or, you know, near where I live. I don't live in Sacramento County, but it's just a completely different, you know, there's so much more. Have I ever been to San Francisco? Yes, many times, many times. I would love to do some plein air adventures there soon, hopefully this year. Okay, let's get back to this painting here. So for anybody tuning in now, my reference photo is this. This is my reference, so that's kind of what I'm working on. And I'm gonna hit the next phase of darks here. Try to use more pigment this time, less water. I'm a little afraid here of how to progress. I think I'm just gonna hit the hair again. Let's just be bold, I guess. Right? Might as well. Be a bit bold. Try to keep it loose. Okay. A little bit over here. So it gets dark down here in my beard. Yeah, if I end up missing a question or something, guys, just post it again for me, please. I don't mean to miss any questions or anything. It's just, I mean, you guys see the chat. It gets really active, and then I'm trying to paint and stuff. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with what's happening out there with you guys. Oh man, that was a disaster. So the lips are definitely gonna be a challenge here. I don't think I can get that thin. You know, I'm working very small here, so. So what I want to get, if I can, I want to get like the core shadow here if I can, to some extent. I don't want the nostrils to be really dark because I don't want them to be distracting. So that's kind of a conscious decision I'm making to not make them very dark. I think I'm going to just do this whole eye socket again. Mostly something like that. Yeah, this is when it's getting real, folks. Like, I'm not really I don't really know how to progress right now on this portrait, so I'm just winging it. I'm winging it. I don't even know if I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do this second portrait. I thought I would, but it might have to be part 2 of another day, to be honest. I kind of had a feeling that might happen. I feel like I need to do some splattering. I know that would like ruin this, but like, I don't know, man. There's just something like I need to like loosen up or something. I don't know. Oh boy. And I know like the first time I'm doing a portrait like this, it's not going to be as loose as I want it. Like it's going to be pretty tight because I'm just not used to rendering something like this, especially this small. Especially this small, it's going to be difficult. But oh boy, this is tough, man. This is tough. Okay, just checking out some go to museums in France. That'd be cool. I have done that. I have a whole plein air adventure series from when I went in England and Paris, and I went to some museums in Paris, and I did some painting in Paris. So I got a whole series of videos of that, plein air adventures. What do I love about San Francisco? Not much, to be honest. I'm not a fan of like big cities like that for the most part. I mean, they're cool to like go to every once in a while, but I'm not like a huge fan of that kind of stuff. I mean, there's some cool architecture and everything. Definitely a lot of stuff to paint, so. Okay, guys, thanks for all the kind words, man. I'm trying, doing my best here. I'm trying to like merge, you know, it's not going to look like eyes and stuff. I'm trying to merge these shapes a bit. I don't like that the eye kind of sticks out like that. Gosh, it looks awful. Got the drawing off a bit. Let's see. Let's just focus on keeping it. Big shapes. Yeah, there's something off here. I think what ended up happening was, and I kind of saw this a few stages ago, got too much pigment on the nose here. I don't think I can remove it now, but I didn't want this much dark pigment up against the nose. Ah, yep, that ruined it. Okay. Let's not touch it anymore. Let's try to... Ah, shouldn't have touched it. I need a brush I can scrub with. Let's see if... I can lighten that up at all. Okay, there we go. There we go. Slightly saved it a little bit there. This brush isn't even clean, so I'm getting like... Okay, I'm gonna use a smaller brush. It's probably a smart thing to do. Yeah, I don't want the nostrils that dark. I think I'm gonna have to darken the rest of the portrait more. Wow, somebody acting out on the stream. What's going on? Yeah, I know the eye seems too dark. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out how to balance all this. I think the eye seems too dark because the rest isn't dark enough. I mean, if you squint at the photo, everything is really dark, and mine's really light. So I think I'm not really sure. I probably just need to stop here soon. But I'm gonna go really dark so I can get the really dark bits out of the way. Or I want to get like how dark am I gonna go with this? I want to go really dark where I need it. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I mean, for this, I mean, this is my first time ever trying a portrait like this, so I'm just gonna push it and try to, you know, play around with it, experiment a little bit, and I'll probably end up pushing it too far. But I think that's what I have to do to really understand when to stop. You know, it's hard to know when to stop if you don't know how far is too far. You know, so that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So I'm just playing around, man. I'm just playing around a little bit. I mean, you guys are gonna see the issues and problems with it before I will, because you're just sitting back watching it. You guys got the easy job. For me, I got to figure out, you know, when too much is too much, you know, and really be aware of it as I'm painting it. Yeah, I was trying to darken the lip here. That's what I was going for earlier. Yeah, so hopefully now the eye doesn't look too dark, because I got the rest to kind of to match it a bit. I think I need the nose a bit darker, because that's kind of, the nose is kind of lacking, and there's different planes. There's different planes on the nose, so I feel like I gotta just hit that a little bit. Give it some kind of shape, and that's probably too dark. I mean, the problem here is, like, this was taken outside, so it's like there's so much reflected light, and I'm trying to simplify that but still kind of capture it in a way. I mean, when I look at the shadow compared to this light area, I mean, they're very similar. So I may need to just glaze this whole thing one more time, and that may push the shadows a bit more. That's probably what I have to do. I'm getting too focused on the small bits, and I need to focus on the larger shapes. Like this shadow really lightened up compared to a few, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Nathan. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was just saying. Yeah, the shadow's just not dark enough. And I can see that now. I can definitely see that. Yeah, you guys are right. I didn't even see you guys' comments. Yeah, the shadow's just, I lost that shadow. So I may just hit that all right now. Or should I wait a minute? Should I wait for all this to dry a bit, or just do it? Screw it, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm gonna start up here. Yeah, we need this shadow to be a shadow. It's gonna look crazy right now, but I'm gonna do it. We'll leave that little light triangle there, really nice. Boom, there we go. There we go. That looks more like shadow, I think. Definitely looks more like shadow. Soften this line slightly. Soften that. Maybe soften this side of this light triangle, if I can. Get a soft edge going there. There is a bit of reflected light. Let's see if I might be able to pull it out right on the hairline. Might be able to pull that out a bit. So yeah, definitely need, what I learned from this, definitely need more practice with portraits, that's for sure. I mean, this is a whole different ball game than a landscape. And I knew that, of course. I mean, I've painted portraits in the past with oils and stuff. But this is a whole different game to be played. So I'm trying to, like, I'm getting this reflected light because it's kind of a different plane on my face. So I'm trying to show different planes on my face slightly, if I can. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I have a light spot there. That's kind of weird. Let's just kill that. I kind of like this not having the eyes defined. You know, I think it's kind of cool. Because I think it gives more of the viewer something to do, you know. Alright, I'll look at the comments in 1 second. I've been ignoring you guys. Been trying to focus on getting this some decent level. I told you guys it wouldn't look like me. I mean, I got the nose proportion off, like my nose isn't wide enough, like there's some things going wrong, but it's a portrait at least, you know. It's definitely a portrait. Like my nostril needs to come out a little bit further, but I don't really want to put a nostril in there. You know, just all kinds of things. Boy, that was difficult. Yeah, good point, Diego. Yeah, it's not just technique of the portrait, but the watercolor technique too. Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts trying to. Yeah, definitely my eyes are too close. I mean, there's definitely proportion issues. I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. That's why it's called a portrait gesture. It's a gesture of a portrait. It's not likeness. I'm not going for likeness. I know it doesn't look like me. It's not supposed to. So wasn't trying to make it look like me. I'm just using me as a reference because I don't have anybody else. Yeah, I use a little bit of like a damp brush to soften the edge. So a little bit of water. Well, I'm glad you think I made it better. I don't know. I feel like I ruined it, but I still feel like it's not done. You know, I feel like it still needs to get darker somehow. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do with it. But, you know, I kind of got a core shadow in here, so that looks nice. And then the reflected light. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see it on this camera here. Let me darken it a bit. There we go. Could you do that in any color? Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fun to just play around with different colors, like maybe do like a yellow ochre portrait, try to play around with the values within yellow ochre. You know, ivory black, terra rosa is a good color, or what's the color? Venetian red or whatever is pretty good color. Yeah, gesture, I mean, if you think like figure gestures, people do those quick figure gesture drawings. That's kind of what I'm doing here with the portrait. It's just like, I'm just trying to get a portrait. I'm not trying to get my self-portrait. You know, it's just a portrait. It's my future son. Well, that's interesting. I do think I need like, I think I'm missing some midtones, like maybe down here in the hair. I need like another value. You know, there's some slightly other values that I could put in here. Just give it a little more. You know, it looks like the nose has some other values as well. I can age myself by putting in some of my cheek there. My eye. You know, more color on the nose or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I could do this with oils a lot better, but oils are so much easier. Because you can just paint right over it with oils, but watercolor, it's a little more difficult to paint right over. You don't get the same effect when you do that. What am I doing? I have no idea. I'm just see if get some last little bit of darks in here, really dark. Kind of almost straight pigment, a little bit of water. But just want to push it in some areas. Yeah, I think my eye, my left or right eye, left eye on the paper, I feel like it needs to be extended. So eyebrow out to there, let's lighten that up, soften that. And then my whole socket needs to just be extended out, I think. Oh well, guys, I'm not really sure what else to do to this thing. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like I said, I don't really want to get really dark with the eyes in there. I think that would like kind of, you know, I don't know. I feel like just be too much detail, you know, to really get in there and get too dark. You know, I might be able to get a little bit darker on the nostrils or something. But I don't even know that I want to do that. Like, yeah. They kind of stick out too much if I do that. But you know, I could sit here and do this all day and just keep messing with it and messing with it and messing with it. And playing around with this, playing around with that, but I think I'm going to stop here in a minute. I'm just trying to, you know, see if there's any little last bit to kind of pull things together, you know, darken things here slightly, just to give it a little more strength in some areas. Yeah, if nothing else, I mean, I hope this just helped show you guys like to just keep going, even though things are difficult, you know, it's a struggle, just keep pushing it. Like maybe you can get it better, you know, and sometimes when you're learning, you just have to push it, you know, and I think I'm going to push the nose a little bit here. Stop here in just a second. I just don't want to push it any further too much. I'm just trying to create more form if I can, you know, just give it a little more 3D look if I can in places. Are you using grayscale to check your values, or are you just winging it? I'm just winging it because I'm only using transparent red oxide, and that you can't get as dark with that, you know, like black. I do have a grayscale. Let me do have a scale here, so obviously the darks on this are pretty close to the black. I mean, they're more dark than this, so but it's not going to be as dark as black. It's just not going to happen. But it looks like I got some good shadow tones in there, and the light tones. So these are kind of my lights, looks like. And then the shadows are kind of right here. And then the dark accents, pretty dark. So I think I got some good values. I mean, really looking at the photo, it's like I could even darken this whole shadow again. And I think that's the thing that's scary about doing something like this for the first time, is like, I was afraid to go really, really, really dark. You know. Why is it red? Because I just used one color. I used transparent red oxide. Paint a blue outside of it. Oh man, I'm not going to touch it with any other color, especially a blue right now. Did I miss any questions or anything? No, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when I zoom out, the right side looks a lot lighter than... Yeah, I think this camera is not the greatest. It kind of like, depending on what's in the frame, it kind of adjusts for, you know, if I put something dark in there, it's going to adjust like all the values and stuff. Like, it kind of changes the exposure. But in real life, I really could darken this whole shadow again. I don't know if I want to do that. But I could glaze it. I could do it. Should I try to push it, guys? Should I do one more layer over the shadow, guys? Just to push it a bit further. We'll hear what the crowd has to say. What does the chat have to say? Should I push the shadow one more layer darker? Do you have any recommendations on what books we should read? For watercolor? Okay, Diego, he says no. Diego's a really great watercolorist. Okay, you say no. All right, let me show you guys the reference photo one last time. There's a reference photo. Should I push the shadow darker? Okay, some people says go for it. People says definitely. Let it dry totally. I mean, it's pretty, it's still damp. I don't like waiting, Diego. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait, let it dry. I'll be here forever. I gotta get off here and eat dinner. Push it, do it. Ah, Magic 8 Ball app said yes. Oh man, come on. Yeah, Mira, just let me know, do you mean watercolor books? Books for watercolor? I think one really great book on watercolor and a little bit on drawing as well. I think it's called The Urban Sketcher. There was a few books like that were similar. Yeah, it does dry so much lighter. It depends on how much water you use. And like I said, I was afraid to go too dark at the beginning, like too, you know, when it's something I don't have a lot of practice with, I'm afraid to go too dark. Is nose too big? No, I think my nose is kind of small on this side, actually. It's a little small compared I have a big nose, man. I don't have a hair dryer. I don't own a hair dryer. The darkest part of the shadow is towards the center of your face. Yes, you're right. You're right, the core shadow. That's what I was trying to get earlier. But I still think when I squint down at the whole thing, you know, I would glaze over that too, so hopefully it would keep that darkness. Oh man, I just feel like the reflected light's too light. You know what I mean? Whatever your final outcome is, I know it'll be awesome. I have to head out. Great work today. Thanks. I appreciate it, Kashika. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in, and take care of yourself. It would be interesting to see you do a high-key portrait sometime. No. Okay. Oh, gosh. Well, it seems I've got mixed reviews. People said yes, some people said no. The problem is, here's the problem, guys. If I don't do it now, I'm going to always wonder. I'm going to always wonder what it would look like if I pushed it a little bit further. Right? I don't want to have that regret, man. I'd rather regret it after doing it and then realize I shouldn't have done it. Glaze later. I want to do it right now. I don't want to do it later. I'm not going to be online later. I want to do it now. I want to do it now. Oh, man. All right, let's push it real quick. Let's just do it. Let's do it. It's pretty much dry. It's slight, very, very, very little damp. I'm just going to do it. Yep, you're right. I have to know when to stop, and the only way to learn that is to overdo it so that I know I should have stopped right now. So I'm going to glaze it one more time. I can't let it dry. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to glaze later. I want to do it now. Oh man, I know I should wait, but let's just do it, guys. I've been on here so long already. It's already been an hour and a half almost, so I'm just going to do this. We'll just play around. Let's have some fun, and then I'm going to get off and eat some dinner. So let's do it. I love everybody's like, go for it, go. And there's like 2 people that are like, no, let it dry. I'm just going to be a savage. I'm just going to do it. All right, let's just do it. I'm not going to use a whole lot of water, actually. And I'm going to try to be selective about where I glaze this. Try to be selective. I want to leave some of that. It's almost like a dry, like a scumbling dry brush glazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to darken that core shadow again, but that's okay. I can do that pretty easily. Diego gave in. Okay, just do it. Oh man, I'm sorry. You're right though. I mean, I should like if I was doing a real painting or something, like, yeah, I would wait. I would have waited. But you know, I'm on the YouTube right now. I'm playing around. I'm having some fun, and this is kind of like just a study, and it's more of like a study of values. Like, I'm just trying to see, like, should I have pushed it or not? And I kind of like this. It seems a bit dark, especially on the video, with this camera just going crazy. Let's see. There we go. Exactly, Philip, exactly. Trying. Okay. All right, let's see if I can darken that core shadow again. So just darken some of this. It seems a bit dark. Let's see if I can lighten that up slightly. So I'm just kind of like gently massaging this thing. I'm just kind of like, it's like I'm taking this thing to the spa, you know what I mean? Just going real gently, being real gentle with it. Just having some fun, man, just having some fun. Just kind of pushing it right at the last second here, just seeing what would happen. Is it a better result? Yeah, maybe not, but whatever. Whatever. I had to do it. I had to do it. Otherwise, I would have never known. And then I would have cried myself to sleep that night. And I don't think most of you guys probably don't want me to cry myself to sleep at night. So I had to do it. Had to push it. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty dark now, but honestly, it's not as dark as the video is making it look. But yeah, it is a little too dark. Is it better? I don't know. Could be. We'll have to let it dry and see what happens. Come on, stop. Sorry, my cat's messing with everything on my desk, or on my table. Okay, yeah, it's definitely more of a light versus shadow look now. Is it better? I don't know, but it's definitely a stronger look, you know. Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but wow. So we'll get more of an overall look at there and see if we can get this camera to expose it correctly. Not bad. I mean, not the greatest, not the best, but you know, not bad either, I guess. Suffering like a real watercolor artist. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this small little sketch, or whatever you want to call it, hour and a half, not bad, I guess, not bad. For never doing something like this, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this for an hour and a half, I guess, you know. I was really unsure. I really thought like I would have stopped about 40 minutes ago, actually, is probably when I should have stopped. But I had to just keep trying to see, like, how could I, it's a little too dark there. Like how far could I push this thing, and what's going to happen when I do this, or how's this going to look if I do another layer on the, I just had to play around with it. And I just tried to get like, a nice rounding of the form here and stuff, just trying my best, folks. That's all I can do. That's all I can really do. There's things I like about it, there's things I don't like about it. So, I mean, I think it's going to happen with any kind of painting like this. I really don't like the nose for some reason. I don't know if I'm not getting dark enough right there. I'm not sure what the problem is, but something about the nose just looks too narrow or something, or I don't know. Something's wrong. But anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in for this disaster. Hopefully this disaster was helpful for someone out there. I feel like it was helpful for me, hopefully. Maybe the next live stream, painting live stream, I'll do the one that's mostly shadow. That'll be even more challenging. I'm kind of afraid to even try that one. Maybe we'll do like a profile view or something else, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not the greatest, not the best, somewhere in the middle, hopefully. So yeah, this camera is really not that great. I'll post a photo of this on the thumbnail, and maybe on my community tab or something, if I feel like it. Yeah, there's something I don't like about it. It's too tight, man. It's just too tight. I feel like I just need to soften something. Like something needs to happen here. Like I'm going crazy right now. It's just too tight. Too tight. Just feels too safe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I've been staring at it way too long. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably stop, right, guys? Just put the paintbrush down. Just put the paintbrush down. Yeah, it needs to like. I'm gonna go back to the big brush. Let's. You're right, Diego. We need some. We need some, like, I don't know. I'm about to just go bold right now. I don't know. I'm afraid, but I just want to, like, I want to melt some of this into something. I don't know. Just soften this whole side. I don't know, man. Okay, let me stop before I like ruin everything. Yeah, put the paintbrush down. I can't do it. I want to get rid of this ear. I don't like it. Just want to destroy it. Okay. Yep, you're right. You're right. There we go. A little bit more softness there. Yeah, something like that. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was like cool in some way. It was pretty wild for me. But one last time, you guys can check out my website, schaeferfineart.com. Got some drawings, watercolors on there, some better watercolors than what I just did on schaeferfineart.com. There's other ways to support me as well: PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, some t-shirts, whatever. Anyway, thank you guys. Here's one last view of it. You know, does it look like me? I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, peace everyone, take care of yourself, and thank you so much for tuning in. See you on the next one.